I exist outside of time. I have always been and will always be. I am perfect in my essence, but I don't know this until I experience it, until I feel it, until I live through it. Imagine hunger, not physical, the hunger for knowledge. I am like a vessel full of potential, but empty of experience. When I first choose the path of incarnations, I am drawn to the brightest, loudest, sharpest, to that which will make me feel everything. First lives are like the beat of a drum, loud, simple, powerful. I choose times of wars, primitive tribes, eras of great battles. I need not the length of existence, but its intensity, fear of death and thirst for life, two poles between which I swung like a pendulum. Survival on the edge, that's what gave me the sharpest sensations. I thought that the stronger the amplitude between fear and bliss, the more I would learn about myself. But after hundreds of such lives, I began to notice predictability. The drumbeat always sounds the same. Fear of death, triumph of survival, joy of victory, bitterness of defeat, over and over again. These crude energies are like a foundation, necessary, irreplaceable, but only the basis for something greater. The soul cannot erect a temple of experience without a solid foundation in duality. And then one day I realized that I wanted more. Not just to survive, but to create. Not just to feel fear, but to overcome it. Not just to love instinctively, but to love consciously. I began to choose incarnations where I could play instruments more complex than a drum. Lives where one needs to hear the overtones of existence, not just its basic tone. It's like moving from playing the drum to the violin. The drum is simple and powerful. Hit it, and sound is born instantly. The violin requires refinement, years of practice, an ear capable of capturing the slightest nuances. The more lives I lived, the more subtle states attracted me. Not because I was tired of the struggle, no. Simply because I realized that there are dimensions of experience so rich that they require new senses, new instruments of cognition. In this journey, there is no better or worse. The drum is not worse than the violin. They are different. They complement each other. So too, young souls are not worse than old ones. They are simply at a different stage of the journey. You think there is a hierarchy of souls? No, there is only a spectrum of experience. As an artist cannot create a masterpiece without studying the basics of mixing colors, so a soul cannot know the higher states of consciousness without knowing the basic energies of existence. Each soul chooses those times and places that resonate with its current needs for experience. Primitive times, the Middle Ages, modernity, the future, all these are just decorations for the main spectacle, knowing oneself through experience. First, I learn what it means to survive. Then, what it means to live together. Next, what it means to create. Further, what it means to love unconditionally. And finally, what it means to be. And when I go through this entire path, I realize an amazing truth. I was perfect all this time. I never lost my integrity. The whole journey was not to become something, but to realize who I am originally. Young souls are no less valuable than old ones. They simply play different music. And this music is necessary for the great symphony of existence, as are the refined melodies of old souls. The journey of the soul is not a linear path from simple to complex. It is the revelation of infinite complexity that has always been within. From drum to symphony orchestra, from survival to creation, from fear to love, from oblivion to awareness. And you know what's most amazing? When I reach this awareness, I begin to appreciate the simplicity of the drumbeat again, because now I hear in it not just rhythm, but the pulse of life itself. And everything begins anew.